All right, welcome to the final game in the series that I've recorded, where I was helping my friend reach experienced. Um, this was a liberal loss. I was sitting in seat 2, he was in seat 7, and I remember this game I elect Hitler as well. And it's kind of interesting coming right off of the last game, where it was sort of unintentional the way that Hitler got elected. In this game, Hitler gets elected legitimately, and so I want to talk about where I screwed up and what liberals could have done a little bit better. This was actually a very interesting game, so it'll be good to get into it. I would say that 1 and 5 both played it pretty well, and 3 as well. So 1-5 plays, they drop a blue, and automatically I'm going to say that's bad, but I still think it's fine. At least you're playing blues as fash govs. That's generally standard sort of play. Hiding the blue, it can be good and it can be bad. It's good if I get a red here, but I don't. If I get 3 reds, it becomes great. Because we're playing the 1-2-5-6 meta, I'm pretty sure we're 9ing to 5 here. 5 yaws. And right away, that should send some alarm bells up. 5 should never be yawing 3 here, under any circumstances. And it's ironic that he's Hitler. See, and I think that exact vote is what gets me to elect him, because I can just never see 5. I thought 5 could be fascist, for sure. I just never saw 5 as Hitler yawing 3, you know? Yawing is a person he later conflicts, you know? Because, to add to flame to the fire, he picks 3 over 1. Like, that just seems like vanilla fascist kind of play. Like, 1 is liberal. For one thing, it frames 1 as liberal in my mind. And he doesn't want to pick 1. He wants to pick a fascist. So, if 1 is liberal, that means somebody else is fascist in this group. And on top of that, they then instantly conflict. Now, this is really bad luck for liberals, because both fascist govs got red, blue, blue, and that means that they've been able to get rid of 3 blues that we will never see. I got 1 blue in my gov, and so that means that we are currently actually at a neutral deck state, but that is going to change because there's going to be some reds coming. And the reason for that is that 2 blues have actually been buried. So even though it seems like we're on a normal deck state where each gov has gotten 1 blue, we're actually on a negative 2 deck state. There's only 1 blue left in the final. How many cards have been played so far? The final 8 or 9 cards. I forget what it is. After 3 governments are down, 9 cards are down, so it would be 8 cards, right? Yeah, 8. I'm right. I don't know why that was so difficult in my mind. Anyway, so yeah, here's where the the deck state starts to go negative. Now it's a -1. He takes Inv. This isn't great. He does Inv my friend Liberal. That's great. This is perfectly fine for liberals. However, then my friend plays a red, and we have the penultimate. Like, this is like the best situation for fascists, because 5-3 is conflicted. And because 5-3 is conflicted, we know there's a fascist there. But at the end of the day, it's still a 3 blue deck. So now it's a -2, net -2 deck state. And we have a liberal who's taken Inv. And it's very hard for a liberal on a -2 deck to be liberal. Usually the person who takes Inv on a negative deck, they dropped a blue and they're just fascist. And then on top of that, the person they Inv'd liberal also played red, red, red. And he elects me. And at the end of the day, I'm going to pick 5 and lose the game for liberals there. And that's just unfortunate. And the reason I pick 5, I think I've already gone over this, but it's because the way he played the game was actually pretty ingenious as a Hitler, because it frames him as a vanilla fascist, like somebody who has information that he shouldn't. He shouldn't know that 3 is one of his fascists, and yet he picks him. And then they conflict, and the way they conflict, 3 like kind of outs himself as fascist, so that's another really good step. Like, I was totally going to shoot 3 if I had the chance, thinking 3 was just Hitler, it obfuscates 1 doesn't look like a fascist now. and that puts 6 on hot ice for taking him. So again, it'll be interesting to see how people respond to the video. I'll respond to comments as they come. What could libs have done better? Not really a whole lot. Fascists got a lot of control in this game, and they dropped a lot of blues, and things worked out in their favor. We didn't get that final blue in the 8 cards, or in the 6 cards that we drew. So, and that's a normal deck, by the way. That's 5. That's a 5 blue deck, which that's the standard sort of deck that you get. A better deck for liberals would be a 6 blue deck, and that's what I'm wishing that we'd gotten. Worse would have been a 4 blue deck. And so yeah, I tip my hat off to the fascists here. They just played it pretty well. They convinced me that 5 was not Hitler, and 5 did that himself. Like, I thought 5 was fascist and could be fascist. And the thing about 5 and 3 being fascist to me, it basically means 7 can't be fascist. You know, because 6 and 7 can't be too fascist with 3 and 5. I thought both 3 and 5 did enough to become fascist, but I just never saw 5 as Hitler himself. So that was all good. And again, I'll love to see how the feedback. This will be the final video, so I'll be signing off for the last time.